So now that our lauder has been completed and we have all of the wort from our mash tun inside of the pot, it's time to perform the sparge. And I do what's called a batch sparge. And in a batch sparge, you just basically perform another mash with hot water. This water got up to like a little over 200 degrees, and we put it in my hot liquor tank. Now we're just transferring it to the mash tun. And the reason you do it so hot is technically to halt enzymatic activity, which will make it so that the enzymes stop converting the starches into sugars, which, I mean, frankly is completely unnecessary, and I think it's a step that really they do in commercial brewing. You can do the sparge with whatever temperature water you want, though it's also thought that having really hot water will help ease the flow of the mash. But in addition to that, it's just going to reduce the amount of time that it's going to take your entire batch to come to a boil. So we basically just let this sit for about 15 minutes as opposed to the full hour for the mash, because we're not doing any conversion of starch into sugars. We're just getting those sugars dissolved back into this hot water so we can put it into our wort. And this is the second runnings. The first that you draw off are called the first runnings. And you can actually technically make two different beers out of those. They used to do that back in the day, and make a strong beer out of the first runnings, and make a weak beer, a more mild beer out of the second runnings. And they would actually even do it a third time sometimes, and the third runnings would be a breakfast or a table beer or a child's beer. Because back in the day, when we didn't have potable water everywhere, even children drank really lightly alcoholic beverages because they were guaranteed to be sterile and potable water sources for people to drink, as well as energy.